Logical. Not everything we want is gonna work out, right? It's not always gonna happen. After all, we're not spoiled children. But Brazil has found a future senator from this state we're talking about here, São Paulo. After many years, São Paulo will have a senator worthy of the state. And it was needed, wasn't it? And it was needed. For this group, for this crowd to be so desperate the way they are. With our dear Granda Derrite, it's because, look, now, Lindenberg fighting with Gambota, Randolph Rodriguez crying on Globo, and Zé Dirceu trying to turn the people against Derrite. It's because he's good, right? He's good. And Lula also getting into a fight with Mata. And in Derrite's thank you, he made a point. That's what I liked. That's what I liked. That's what I liked. I'll reveal everything about praising President Bolsonaro. Stay in this video. Please share it. Stay in this video. Let's go, my friends. Look. The crying face, right? The crying face of the guy. Lindinho crying there, right? The tears. He even lost his underwear to Derrite. Lost. PT lost, right? He now admits a crisis of trust with Hugo Mata. The guys want to pick a fight with Marmota now. Now you want to pick a fight with Marmota, right? Guys, leader of the leader, yeah, he has to. Let him really be the leader. Lindinho responded to the statements of Hugo Mata, who said that Lula's government needs to explain why they voted for the anti-gang bill. The proposal, approved on Tuesday, was sent by the executive branch and had as its rapporteur our dear future senator, currently a congressman and secretary of public security, the best, the greatest, because Marias was secretary of public security, right? And with all that's happening, it's good Derrite is secretary now. The Workers' Party leader said the issue began with picking the rapporteur, stating, first, because of the choice of the rapporteur. Look, it's a project authored by the executive branch. We weren't demanding that the rapporteur be from the Workers' Party. But they had to appoint someone neutral, someone who could have a dialogue. He mentioned that the text went through 6 months of study. A lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Do you think it stops there? Marmota was outraged. Little Marmota was furious and sent a reply via Lula. We need strong and reliable laws to fight organized crime. First, Lula sent it, right? The bill passed yesterday by the chamber changed major parts of the anti-gang bill. That our government, I'm not going to discuss it since that lackey sent it. Motas, which was chique from Marmota. You can't misinform the population, which is targeted by crime every day, with falsehoods. It's serious to distort the effects of a legal framework meant to strengthen the state's public security against organized crime. We won't face street violence with false narratives. We need to be united at this moment. The government chose the wrong path by not joining this united front to fight crime. I repeat, security cannot be held hostage by false narratives. Did you just call Lula a liar? Marmota called Lula a liar. He said like this, "Don't come with false narratives or you'll be out of here, my son. You'll be out. Get out. Get out." Marmota, let them fight, fight, fight. Fight as much as you want. And then another crybaby came here. Look, man, do you think this guy... He's a military man from Cuba. José Dirceu. He belongs to the Cuban Armed Forces. Believe it or not, he's still a military man from Cuba. He's a military man from Cuba. If he's crying...
Don't be fooled by what was approved by the Secretary of Public Security of São Paulo, Congressman Derrite in Brasilia, in the chamber. It's going to have the opposite effect of what he says it will.
Will it have the opposite effect? It's to put criminals, Those from the shady conversations you support so much, I'll hold myself back, because Derrite did exactly what needed to be done.
It will weaken the federal police by taking resources away from them. It will make the work of the Revenue Service harder at customs, at the borders. It doesn't solve anything. It will weaken operations like Carbono, which struck a major blow to the Primero Comando da Capital by targeting their funds.
Hey, shameless guy, shameless. It wasn't the federal police who dismantled Operation Hidden Carbon, man. Who did the operation, right? It was the Special Action Group for Combating Organized Crime in São Paulo. Stop lying and tell the truth. It wasn't the federal police. The Special Action Group for Combating Organized Crime started, investigated, and pursued it. The federal police showed up later just to put their name on it, so it wouldn't look as bad. First thing, if Bolsonaro couldn't appoint a director of the federal police, then Lula shouldn't have either, and now we're in this situation. Federal police, we see it at the Patriots' house. We wanted to see the government authorize the federal police to go up the hill, just like our heroes from the Special Police Operations Battalion. Ask Lula to authorize it. Not even the armored vehicle, man. Not even the armored vehicle. Lula made available to the police our 4 heroes who, unfortunately, fell in our beloved state of Rio de Janeiro. They were supposed to be alive today, and their families wouldn't be crying. Shameless.
He dismantled the gas tax scheme from motels that the Primero Comando da Capital had. He dismantled the power of money. Borders.
Go to hell, liar. Virgin? This guy is such a virgin, man. Oh my God. Then Andrea Sadi appeared, right? Let's call Randolph. Now there's something to talk about. Call Randolph. Do you think this guy from Amapá, which is also a state totally run by criminal organizations, will know anything? If you put Derrite on one side and this guy on the other, you want to say that, oh, come on. Hey, Andrea Sadi, are you kidding? Andrea Sadica, not Andrea Sadi.
Does the Lula government struggle with the public security debate? Because it seems to me all the time that the government is chasing after this agenda where the right moves so well.
I think we've identified what our opposition doesn't want to happen.
Look.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing about this debate.
The left is disgusting, my friends. It's messed up. Why didn't she call Derrite? She didn't call several people who were in on they only call PT supporters. That's the desperation. The government is losing its narrative defending the federal police on social media. What did these sellouts do? They're gonna say that Derrite wants to end the federal police. He wants to end the federal police. No, we want the federal police, but the one from years ago, not today's federal police. And also, our criticism isn't directed at everyone in the federal police, not at all. There are many men there who are honest, courageous, and so on. But if I ask you here, who is satisfied with the work of the federal police today? Leave it here in the comments section. I usually say, look, the revolution of 1964, revolution of 1960, it wasn't a coup, it was a revolution. These sellouts like José Dirceu, Lula, Dilma, and Miriam Leitão, they wanted to take over Brazil with a dictatorship of the proletariat. The armed forces did not allow that to happen. It wasn't a coup. That would require establishing a dictatorship of the proletariat. Even now, those wicked people say, the armed forces of the past, not today's, which also have flaws, as we can see. These generals are ruining the armed forces. Some of them. But the left says that it's the military. The federal police is now seen, and that's not a narrative. Leftists may claim it is, but everyone knows it's not. Anyone who follows politics knows that. The federal police today is everything the left used to accuse the military of, without any sense at all. Because if they hadn't done something back then, Brazil today would be like Cuba or Venezuela. You see, my friends, the federal police today is what? And with facts. When the military arrested them, they were journalists from the Communist Party of Brazil, which aimed to bring about the dictatorship of the proletariat. It was bank robbers, people who killed other innocent people, kidnapping of an ambassador. There was a reason. Now, when did the right ever kidnap an ambassador? Did the right rob a bank? Anyone from the right? No. The right went there and made a manifesto. They sheltered in the palace and used that story to arrest people. And the images, they swallowed the images. It's in someone's belly. It's in the belly. I'm not going to say who, but it's in the images. They're in someone's belly. Because until now, they haven't And how do you not provide the footage and blame people? The federal police enabled the arrest of many innocent people. Unlike Miriam Leighton, who was involved in serious matters, Dilma participated in an ambassador's kidnapping and a bank robbery. Name someone on the right involved in similar crimes. And here, look, Derrite went overboard.
Mr. President, thank you. I also thank all parliamentarians who participated in this vote. This is truly a historic moment for our country, Mr. President. Let me make our commitment clear from the very beginning. When Your Excellency appointed me to report on a project of such magnitude, no political agenda, Mr. President, was included in the text. We built a project. As a parliamentarian and representative of public security, like many here, I have worked in public security for 23 years, Mr. President. My dream when I worked in the Tobias de Aguiar ostensive rounds in Rondas Ostensivas Tobias de Aguiar in São Paulo was to have effective legislation like this. To keep criminals from criminal organizations in prison. Mr. President, I had brothers in uniform killed by the Primero Comando da Capital, and the criminal involved walked out of prison's front door.
This guy is amazing. Amazing. And after all that, right, the people celebrate it, right? Look, we just have to see these images. I think Lula must be like biting his tongue, right? And then our dear Derrite, our future senator, gave a special thank you that filled my heart with emotion. Let's see here.
I want to especially mention Congressman Zucco, Congressman Helio, all parliamentarians, and Congressman Sanderson. If today there is a Secretary Derrite who was entrusted with a mission, he exists today because President Jair Messias Bolsonaro once entrusted the Ministry of Infrastructure to the capable and prepared Minister Tarcísio de Freitas.
He already has my vote. He already has my vote. My wife's, my father's, my mother's, my siblings, my sisters-in-laws, my mother-in-laws, my father-in-laws, who, by the way, are police officers. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law are police officers, right? You already have our vote, and yours, who believe that. You already have it. You already have it. To say it again, it's not everything that sometimes we want, would like, and all, but we're not spoiled children. Derrite did what he had to do. What he had and could do. Next year, he'll be elected senator. Back in 2027, we'll restructure, add even more punishments. And that's how it works. And that's how it works. The work is exemplary. Praise President Bolsonaro. That's beautiful to see. All those PT supporters are crying. It's a river, a well of tears. Was it worth creating a situation where Mata argues with Lula? Mata is arguing with Lula. Man, oh my God. Sensational, sensational. Have you ever thought about it, huh, Derrite Senator? Marcos Pontes. He needed to be more assertive. Now, Mara Gabrilli, Giordano, senator from São Paulo, folks, what a shame, what a shame. Share this video on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook. It's very important, my friends, for you to smash that like button. Give all your support to Derrite. Smash it here and come be part of our family here on the Pais e Filhos channel.